Tapestry, an Office 365 price increase. DeepSeek comes to Copilot, but is banned from the Italian App Store. This is MacVoices. MacVoices is supported by Take Control Books, one of the very best sources of clear, concise information on not only Apple's various operating systems, but also key Apple and third-party utilities and more. Visit TakeControlBooks.com and start your library today. Did anybody see, this is another one of those that just came out today, or at least I saw it today, that the Twitterific team launches a new Tapestry app for the iPhone that combines Blue Sky, Mastodon, RSS, YouTube, and some other feeds together.
That was today.
How did they manage that?
They're the Twitterific team. I mean, that's kind of what they do. But I'm anxious to try this. I'm just sorry that right now it's only an iPhone app, or iPhone and iPad app, excuse me. So, but if
I got to get through this invitation thing before I get to this. So
yeah. Well, I use Blue Sky, I use Mastodon, and sometimes I find some of the interfaces just a little less than desirable. And so I think this is going to be really interesting to see just how well this is done. But I'm giving a lot of credit to the Twitterific team, because they had such a great Twitter app that if they've taken what they've learned there and can apply it to the Fediverse, as well as RSS, as well as YouTube.
This is a read only. It's a viewer. You can't make posts with it.
That's fine.
I'm
just to help you keep up.
Wanted to clarify.
Yeah. So again, for what it's worth, check it out if you're interested.
I supported them through Kickstarter, so I forgot about this.
Dave, you know what? I think I completely forgot. I know I wasn't supporting them, but I think I completely forgot about the fact that they were doing it as a Kickstarter. Right. I think I did know that. And I didn't remember it just now.
It's got a monthly subscription, yearly subscription, and lifetime as in-app purchases.
They had about 33, almost 3,400 backers.
Or until they change their APIs.
Well,
at least X anyway.
And again, Guy, that team is one that I would anticipate them continuing to do some development on it, not just sitting on their laurels. They'll almost have to if they want to continue to drive the subscription revenue. So, oh yeah, wow, time has really flown here. So let me sneak in just a couple other quick ones. First of all, Microsoft 365 is raising prices and ditching its free VPN.
So it costs more and offers less. Yeah, that's the Microsoft way.
Mm-hmm.
So Chuck, how does that make you feel?
It just makes me more unhappy that I have to support it, but happy that there are so many great alternatives that when the time comes that I can abandon the Microsoft universe, that I will be able to without really feeling much pain. Brian?
Oh, I was saying, Dave, go ahead if you want.
No, you put it first.
Oh, I was just going to say, commenting on what Chuck had mentioned about like the alternatives. I think a lot of folks may or may not realize all those great alternatives. Obviously, on the Mac, having the suite of the iWork, software that mostly can cover them for most people's needs that they get through, the different Office products. The trouble is obviously sometimes in the environment, if it's a work environment, you may or may not be able to, but it's like, just turning up the heat just a little bit. The price was, what was it, $3 more per month?
Yeah.
So just turning up the heat just a little bit, wondering how many people will unsubscribe over that relatively small actual amount of money, but although it is was it a 43% increase? So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they also had without the VPN you can downgrade it to the personal classic or the family classic plan, which has everything that the plans had, but doesn't have any AI. Because I noticed that I got Copilot included in my subscription to Microsoft 365 and just recently, so which I thought that was kind of cool. So, but the different $3 a month more, and I get Copilot within all the Microsoft apps, and I'm not complaining.
It would be fun to just see if we could, well, I'm thinking it now because I have limited use of Microsoft, but I have to have it.
Right.
So I'm, to see if I could get software that would replace that, maybe open source software that would replace what I actually need it for, and then just dump the subscription. Again, I don't have to work in a Microsoft environment other than Teams. But yeah, I know. But it would be fun to I might play. This might inspire me to play with it because I've got a couple of Microsoft subscriptions for various computers that I have, and I'm going to try it.
And I have to stay on top of Copilot anyway because at work they're pretty much going all in on it, and it's something to need to be have knowledge of it. There's so many different AI. Your Chat GPT, you got Google's Gemini, and then you got Microsoft's Copilot. So,
Webb, you want to ask your question?
Well, not everybody may want to answer this question because of their own personal security issues, but I was always curious who uses a VPN at home. I use one when I'm connected to my business, but I've always wondered if I should have a VPN at home for my wife or all her stuff that she does.
Yeah, I do.
Now, do you do that at the computer side, or do you do that at your at the network side for all your computers?
I do it on the computer side.
Okay.
And I don't mind saying that the two that I have come to prefer are private internet access and ExpressVPN.
ExpressVPN is really good. I use Surfshark. I've been using.
Anybody else a regular VPN user? No?
ExpressVPN.
Okay.
Jeff Gammon uses TunnelBear. We talked about it.
Does he still use TunnelBear?
I believe so. I've asked him recently.
Okay.
I subscribed to TunnelBear when the Olympics were going on in London in 2012, so I could watch the BBC feeds.
Yeah, I did TunnelBear for a while. I honestly don't recall why I stopped. There was a specific reason. I just don't remember what it was.
But ExpressVPN, I agree, is really good. It's a little higher price, but I think it probably is going to be worth the extra amount you pay for it.
Yeah. Going back to the Microsoft thing, Rich in the chat room says LibreOffice works fairly well.
Yeah. Open source.
Yeah. So, but really, maybe some of you guys disagree. It all depends on what you do. But the Apple alternatives, numbers is not bad if you don't mind just a little bit of a learning curve. And I do mean a little bit of a learning curve. Yep. And some things it actually does I like much better than Excel. Pages is adequate for everything I do that I need to put on paper. Yep. And Keynote. Let's see what else. Oh, and Keynote. Don't even bring up PowerPoint in my presence.
Yeah. Teams and PowerPoint, those are two dirty words for you now.
Yeah, they're really. Yeah. In fact, that just came up in a conversation today about PowerPoint. You click on one thing, but then you change tabs, and all of a sudden the control you were just accessing is gone, and you can't figure out where it went.
must admit, I did try the Copilot integration to in PowerPoint, and I typed in I wanted to do a class and talking about iPhone, and it was spot on, amazing that it created like something like 15 different slides of content that you can get a nice idea in a presentation to throw it right in there for you. So you can pretty much type any type of topic you're looking for to put together on the PowerPoint presentation, and the slides get created automatically, and you can edit them as you will, of course.
Dave, if you don't mind, I'll give you some homework for next week. Go in, test that out, ask it how I get rid of all my Microsoft apps, and see what it says.
I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do that.
Do that. Well
Try it right now while we're wrapping up here.
So it'll probably be something like use Office 365 from the web, and your apps will be gone.
Yes. Yeah.
Subscribe here.
Talk about splitting hairs. So these last two sort of go together. The first one is that DeepSeek is coming to Windows Copilot and PCs. The second article is that DeepSeek is under investigation in the US and Europe and has been removed from the App Store in Italy. Does anyone see the irony? I've left you all speechless.
Yeah, that's some spicy meatball. So
Yeah. I mean,
that's as Italian as I get.
well, wasn't terrible, Webb. I mean,
this seems so, it's Captain Obvious. After we just went through the whole TikTok thing that apparently we're going to be saved by. But to say that now they have concerns about the Chinese government and security risk. DeepSeek was also recently integrated into Perplexity, which is a large AI platform too.
And so we talked about this last week, that it's open source. And so it's harder for anything to, as far as they know, and as far as I understand it, it's harder for them to be doing anything nefarious with it. On the other hand, you're sending all those queries to a server in China. And so now Microsoft has decided, oh yeah, we're going to go ahead, the super secure Microsoft operation as it is has decided to go ahead and integrate DeepSeek into Copilot.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Am I just buying into the propaganda?
No.
Okay. Just make sure you use it to ask how to add security to your apps. Yeah. I'm sure it will be helpful.
How to add security to your Microsoft apps? Yeah, yeah. I don't get it. I mean, this is the time I feel like Microsoft is desperate to maintain some kind of lead, that they're willing to do all kind of compromises without, at least on the surface, it appears like much research or much time. Now, I know DeepSeek's been around for a lot longer than what Mark Fuccio called earlier, DeepSeek Monday. But it just seems strange.
Like it just seems like a bad idea.
Without a lot more discussion, and again, I get the open source thing, and so if they're doing it and it's not going to Chinese servers, then I withdraw my objection. And that's the part that I frankly I don't understand how it's going to be integrated. So I can't believe it. We got through everything. I queued up. That's pretty impressive. Dave, you having any luck?
Yes.
What did it say?
The title of the presentation is transitioning away from Microsoft 365 apps, exploring alternatives and migration strategies.
Just rolls right off the tongue.
It does.
The subtitle is, but why would you want to?
Yeah.
No, it said exploring alternatives and migration strategies. That was the subtitle.
Send it over. I'll put it in the show notes. just as a reference point.
Not that,
guys. Thank you.
Good.
We covered a lot of ground here tonight. I really appreciate all the opinions and thoughts. And chat room, you all too were right in there pitching. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let's go around the room and let folks know where they can find you. I'm going to flip it around this time. And Webb, I'll give you the first out. Where can folks connect with you?
I'll be at Jim Ray's house.
Looks like you have lots of space.
Otherwise, you can.
It's the Jim Ray universe.
Wow.
Otherwise, I'll continue to support Blue Sky. You can find me there at Webb Bixby, WEBBIXBY.
Thanks so much, Webb. Jim Ray, are you ready for house guests?
Light rain expected. Starting in 3 minutes.
Huh.
That doesn't scare me, Jim.
I might need to do a little bit of light tidying up. That should scare you.
I hear that. Where can folks find you, Jim?
This under piles of stuff. Last week I was in hiding, wasn't I? Is that last week?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. You can find me. I have a website, provue.com, PROVUE. A website. What is that? Do people still have websites? And Mastodon, which is also a website, right? And on that website, I am at ProVueJim, PROVUE, at techhub.social.
Thank you, Jim. Guy Searle, it's good to see you back in the stable. Thanks for coming.
It was nice to be here.
Yeah, where can folks find you?
You can find me nearly every week, except for the last 2 weeks, on the mymac.com podcast. We just hit our 1,000th episode, and that equals 715 episodes for Gaz and me, so it's new math. You can also, I've pretty much given up on most social media. It's just Mac Parrot at X and Blue Sky, and that's about it.
Okay. That's a nice little selection.
Yeah.
Eric Bolden himself, Hawkman, where can folks find you?
Well, when I'm not under a bird, Mondays with Marty in virtual space, I guess, or maybe augmented space. I guess this would be augmented. Here on Tuesdays, otherwise at EA Bolden at techhub.social on Mastodon, or at EA Bolden at Blue Sky.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Eric. To you and your hawk. Thank you. Marty Gensius, thank you for coming. Where can folks find you?
Never on Twitter. Blue Sky Gensius, JENCIUS, at Blue Sky .social or whatever it is, Blue Sky. But Mondays with Eric at 9 p.m. Eastern Time with Vision Profiles here, and you can get the feeds any other time you want to get them too. Tuesday nights here with Chuck and the group. Wednesday nights with the Old Mac Gang at 9 p.m. also on YouTube. Thursdays with In Touch with iOS with Dave. And the rest of the week, I am in stores with my 6 white male 22-year-olds establishing the price of eggs.
Thumbs up.
$7 a dozen.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Brian Flanagan Arthurs. Thank you. I'm sorry you have to follow that. Where can folks connect with you?
Appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you for having me. You can find me here most Tuesday evenings. And then also, if you want to reach out, please connect over my website, brian8944.com.
Great. Thanks so much, Brian. Last but not least, we're back to where we started. Dave Ginsburg, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, as always. Appreciate it. You can find me at InTouchWithIOS, InTouchWithIOS.com, YouTube channels, YouTube.com/InTouchWithIOS. Here on Tuesday nights on the Mac Show on the British Tech Network on Fridays. And I'm on most social media. I'll go with Mastodon and Blue Sky at DaveG65. Thank you.
Great. Thanks so much. Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is Mac Voices Live. Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern is where you will find us. YouTube.com/MacVoicesTV is where you can participate, just like the chat room is doing tonight. And I really appreciate that. We will see you next time. As always, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with Mac Voices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices, or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.